It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO. And we are back, baby. This is the WWE edition where we're going to talk all things Cody Rhodes winning the title, Monday Night Raw, NXT, and don't forget our LVD, MVD. Ryan, are you ready to talk about WWE? There were some ups and downs of the roller coaster of love for sure.
We also had 90s nostalgia hit us on Raw with the putties from Power Rangers showing up, in that opening segment with Seth Rollins. Yeah, it was a weird week in WWE, a controversial week nonetheless. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Hit that music. Let's get this stuff.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
So we got to get right into it. We didn't talk about SmackDown last week, but we're only going to talk about one thing because it's been a buzz and there's been debates. So who else more perfect to debate this than the two dudes with attitudes? And that is Cody Rhodes last week defeating Drew McIntyre and once again becoming the champion. We are getting babyface CM Punk versus babyface Roman Reigns tonight too, and we are getting babyface Cody Rhodes versus babyface Randy Orton night one for the titles. In my opinion, it states that booking is not being done properly, because if you cannot have a strong heel in your main event at WrestleMania, then you are doing something wrong. Shit, Sergeant Slaughter main event at WrestleMania once. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing here? But Ryan, I'll let you start off. I don't think we truly wanted to believe Cody was going to win, but holy shit, did he, and pretty soundly.
Yeah, I hated this booking decision. This might be one of the most boneheaded decisions I've seen in a long time. And to be honest with you, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, it's a Cody hater. But to be fair, like, it's not because Cody Rhodes champion. It's more because of how they did Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's first title reign came during the pandemic when there were no fans whatsoever at WrestleMania 36, I think it was, when he beat Brock Lesnar in front of nobody. And he carried that title with no fans. It was his first ever championship reign and no fans there to show for it. And it's not his fault. That's not WWE's fault. That's just how everything was going. His second championship reign comes to an end 5 minutes after he wins it at WrestleMania 40 when Damian Priest cashes in Money in the Bank because CM Punk attacks him. So he gets the title again and he gets cashed in on. And now his third championship reign comes to an end 5 weeks before WrestleMania. And to me, that's just horrible. Like, Drew McIntyre deserved to go into WrestleMania with the WWE Championship. And I would have made the argument that he deserved to come out of WrestleMania with the championship. Yep. But either way, like, people are like, oh, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton don't have any history. They don't have a story. Cody and Randy do. There's a story right there. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes Drew McIntyre and Randy were literally feuding over the summer at SummerSlam when who showed up on SmackDown tonight won Jelly Roll. You want to have a story? Randy Orton teamed up with Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Have Drew McIntyre take out Jelly Roll, and boom, there's your story on the build to SummerSlam or WrestleMania. It writes itself, and then Nick Aldis keeps getting pissed, and he makes this a no DQ match or something. But Drew McIntyre deserved way better than losing his championship 6 weeks before WrestleMania. It was a horrible decision, and I don't know what they do with it. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to get Jacob Fatu, and like, okay, like, that's a consolation. No disrespect to Jacob, but that's a consolation prize. You lose your championship, and you go to maybe opening a match or the third match on the card instead of one of the main events. I don't know. I didn't like how they did it for Drew McIntyre.
I agree with you, and Jacob's beneath Drew, and that's not being disrespectful. It's facts. But
yeah, right now,
Drew has been the MVP of the WWE for the past 2 years. The man deserves better. And he has history with Randy Orton. This man has history with every single babyface in the WWE because that's who he is. He's a menace. I said as soon as this happened, I posted on my TikTok. You can check it out at my_wrestling_opinion. And I literally said the Cody being in this match is pointless. Cody versus Jacob would have made more sense because it's a nice money-making moment for Jacob Fatu to become a bigger star by wrestling Cody Rhodes, a man who main evented the last 2 WrestleManias. Cody Rhodes wrestling main event in WrestleMania 3 years in a row serves zero purpose. I said it wouldn't raise ticket prices. I said it wouldn't get people more excited. People on my TikTok said I was stupid. People on my TikTok said I wanted Cody versus Randy. I've never said that. The thing is that what we do is that we listen to the Santies and we listen to other people and we run with that's what everybody thinks. That's not what I think, bro. I never asked for Cody versus Randy. And I was proven right, Ryan, because as soon as they announced that it was Cody versus Randy at the main event, ticket sales have gone nowhere. They have not gone up. And actually, they dropped them by like, 10, 15%, 20% of prices, or 177 to get in now. And I think if you want to wait until the last second, I think you can probably get those tickets for 100 to get in because nobody wants to go. So it didn't work. So having Drew versus Randy would at least made some characters better, built some people, made Drew a star. And you did. You went with the stale person that this is like Vince McMahon 101. Mm-hmm. Oh, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Oh, God, this was such a bad idea. What am I going to do? Let's throw Hogan in there, and Hogan will beat Yokozuna at the main event. So we still end on top because we need the sales and yada, yada, yada. This Triple H is literally, this man started off when we went to WrestleMania in Hollywood, was on fire, having angles and ideas, and now it has slowly just become Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., and it's sad to see. But what can you do? Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter, I guess, either way. But as I said, when you have a babyface and a babyface and a babyface versus babyface with the 4 men's ages being like 300 years old or whatever, years old, you obviously you're not building and telling stories correctly. That's just
no.
So,
yeah. And, yeah, like and to be honest, like with Cody Rhodes becoming champion again, it's just SmackDown was watchable. SmackDown, remember, everybody wanted Cody Rhodes to drop the title because of how bad SmackDown was. It was boring. It was repetitive. It was the same thing week in and week out. And people were sick of it, especially with the 3-hour show. The first SmackDown of 2026 was also the first 3-hour show. They have the 3 stages of Hell match. Drew McIntyre wins. And SmackDown has been incrementally better because Drew McIntyre was champion. It's been watchable. It's been enjoyable ever since. Now we're going to go back to it being hard to watch because you have to have Cody Rhodes on top. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Thing is, Cody's stale as a babyface. Babyfaces are stale right now. Look at CM Punk. He's not even CM Punk anymore. He's CM corporate. He's boring too right now. It's just, this is what, it was fun because Drew was a bad guy because bad guys are fun because they're doing whatever they want and causing chaos. And that was the fun part about it. But what can you do, man? What can you do?
Yeah,
it is what it is. And that's where we are now. But it doesn't matter because those of you who watch SmackDown, this is going to air by the time Drew quit anyway again. So what's it all mean, Hazel? What's it all mean?
Yeah.
All right.
So dumb.
Let's get into some Monday Night Raw. We're going to open up with your favorite segment. I'm just going to brief it, and you're going to talk about it. We had the Vision come out. The Vision meaning Logan Paul and Austin Theory. They came out bitching and moaning. They don't have Paul Heyman anymore because LA Knight murdered him. They never really explained where LA Knight. Yeah. Where did he take him? Did he actually take him to the hospital? Was he nice? I don't know. But nonetheless, they come out. They want Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes out with 800 masked men. He takes his mask off. He puts it back on before the Vision get him. They literally do a whoop-de-doo where you're like taking cups with the ball in it, and like mixing them all around. Like, where do you go? Which way? Just for them to run away. It was legitimately the weirdest thing I'd ever watched. I was confused. Sorry, I said, go ahead. I said to you, you started off. What did you? Because you have more fun on this that you wanted to. Let's hear it.
I told you at the beginning of the show, it was the putties from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's what Seth Rollins' cronies looked like. They were like spinning around like the putties. I was ready for Logan Paul or Austin Theory to morph into the Red Ranger or the Black Ranger, and we just fight them then. But in all seriousness, that segment was god awful. What did it accomplish at the end of the day? Seth Rollins hasn't said a word since he's been back.
Nope.
Then you have the Usos come out afterwards to chase off the Vision with LA Knight. So like they chased him off too, but they play the Usos music and LA Knight's just standing there. Seth Rollins runs off with the 800 cronies under the mask. He already unmasked himself, so why did he mask himself back up? Like, we know it was you, so like, why are you putting the mask back on? It was just he didn't say a word. I don't understand what this is leading to, because everyone's saying it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins at Mania, which I think it should be.
They hinted at it. They said it.
They should. Yeah, I think it should. But I get that he took out Paul Heyman. Brock's a Paul Heyman guy, but then why not at least have Brock? I don't know. Now, but I know Brock's coming back next Monday, and maybe that's when we get the reveal of the match. But also, like, that's 4 weeks before Mania. That just feels way too soon and forced now. So, like, why is Seth doing all this stuff with Logan Paul and Austin Theory when he should be setting his sights on Brock Lesnar? I don't know. This whole thing was just very, very weird.
Here's the thing. They had a plan. The plan was ruined. Braun Breaker got hurt. They had a plan. The next day, Braun Strowman got hurt. Then they're like, well, if we just ignore it, we're going to get ridiculed and made fun of. Seth's ready to go. What the hell are we going to do? We can't have Seth versus Logan. No one cares. And Seth versus Austin makes zero sense. So they're kind of feuding with the Usos and this and that. Well, let's have Paul Heyman come out with Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock's kind of a part of the Vision because he was Paul Heyman. So let's have Paul Heyman get injured, rushed away. It's because of Seth. Now next week, the Vision will come out. I mean, yeah, because the Vision will probably come out next week, run their mouths. Brock will probably interfere, come out and say, no, I want Seth. Get your ass out here. And it's going to be him versus Seth. And that's how they set it up. And then the Usos will attack the Vision. Now we have Usos versus, and we'll get into later with the Usos and what they did, which kind of was another swerve. But nonetheless, I think that's what they're doing. And that's why my only thing is why I didn't understand why he was in a mask to begin with. We knew it was him. Why did he have to hide his identity? And then, Seth, you think Seth Rollins afraid of Logan Paul and Austin Theory? He could. This is pro wrestling. He could take them both with. Why would he have to hide and run away again? Let's be done with, like, no one who so far has been like, holy shit, this masked man stuff is like top tier. We need more of it. It's just mind boggling.
So dumb. But, and like the masked men that they had under the people under the masks looked nothing like Seth Rollins in terms of stature.
No. There was all the body types.
There were two guys that like crashed into each other while they were running around. It was just an awful segment. And like, if I was Seth Rollins, I'd go backstage and be like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, I'm either out for WrestleMania or you guys got to do better with creative, because that was god awful.
Imagine if you haven't watched WWE in a while and you're like, oh, dude, it's almost WrestleMania season. This is when it gets hot. Let me watch my first episode of Monday Night Raw in 4 years. Boom, and you see that shit. Yeah, this is why WrestleMania tickets are $177 now and only going to get lower, because who the hell cares?
Yeah, no. If I had that on with like a girl watching with me, she would have broken up with me. Be like, why the fuck do you watch this shit? So for sure. Awful. She would have said, why? Yeah, 100%. Like, she'd be like, this is worse than my soap operas. Yeah, this is worse than the OC. I can't argue with you on that one. So
right, 100%.
It's been nice knowing you.
All right, well, we had some good things happen. The next thing I kind of liked is that we had a number one contender match for the IC title, which is held by one AJ Lee. You heard that right. AJ Lee, the phenomenal. And Bayley won the match. Bayley ended up winning, outlasting everyone in the gauntlet match. And now we are having Bayley versus AJ Lee. Ryan, I like it. Bayley needs to do something. She literally never does anything. She's not going to win, so she's not going to have her WrestleMania moment, which is sad if they keep skipping one of the top females of all time. But nonetheless, AJ Lee has looked awful in the ring. I got shit for saying that, but she does. She looks awful. I actually want to go back and watch old matches with her to see if she ever looked good, because is she just rusty? Or I'm assuming she's been training. She's with CM Punk, although he looks like he doesn't work out if his gun was to his head. But nonetheless, Bayley is going to carry her, have a phenomenal match. That's a great way to push it. Why is it on Raw? I'm a little confused next week. But nonetheless, what say you? What do you think about this?
I thought it was good. I like that they're giving Bayley, I guess, the respect that she deserves, even though I think if you want to respect her, give her a WrestleMania match. I also think there's a little bit of story there that maybe they'll tell, because I think it's leading to a rematch between AJ and Becky at Mania. For the and Bayley Becky took Bayley's spot at WrestleMania last year, so maybe somehow Bayley plays a factor into that this year. So I'm intrigued. But you were mentioning AJ Lee not being good in the ring. She hasn't been good on the microphone since she's been back.
No,
she's been
bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if I remember that pipe bomb she cut on the Divas division and how great it was. It was fantastic. And now, again, I think it's just she's been away too long, and I don't think she watched while she was gone. And and like she's just coming across as I'm happy to be here, and it doesn't feel real.
No, she's been stuttering through words and this and that. I mean, people are clowning Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella has been phenomenal, and now they brought her back with Brie. Nikki Bella's been good in the ring.
And where have they been?
Good on the mic, and she looks damn good. She looks good.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're on SmackDown this week. No, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Yeah,
but nonetheless, she looked good. I'm just talking about someone who was gone for a long time who came back. But yeah, I'm rooting for. I'd like AJ Lee. Hopefully she'll turn it around a little bit. But maybe this was just a deal in CM Punk's contract. All right, we're going to skip to the end because I want to talk about one thing last. But we had CM Punk come out and cut a promo. Basically, he's surprised we still like him. Everyone can eat a dick. He doesn't care what he says. That's just how it works. And the Usos came out. Jay, dude, what's with Jay's promos? Do you remember when he was originally the main event? Like, you know what I mean? Like, main event Jey Uso. His promos with Roman, they were fierce and good. Now he just, like, overacts and screams. He was just yelling, like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't that serious, bro. And he was making it look like he, like, shot his mama. And then Jimmy, actually, I thought, looked pretty damn good. Cut a good promo. Kept it kind of level. But nonetheless, they wanted an apology. CM Punk apologized to them for having Roman be so shitty. Didn't say anything. My thing, supposedly this was a Triple H last-minute add-on, which is weird because it was like the main event of Monday Night Raw. What say you? We're obviously getting the Usos in the vision. Why did we kind of pivot towards this? Are the Usos going to help Roman? Is this turning Roman into a bad guy at WrestleMania? I'm confused on what we did here. I didn't hate it, though. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah.
CM Punk was good. He was really, really good.
Yeah, CM Punk brought it, and the segment was a little strange to me with like the way Raw ends with CM Punk making fun of Roman Reigns' dead dad and then just walking out of the ring, and then this week CM Punk gets punched in the face and then the show just ends. I'm like, what why are we ending it like this? But like this segment was it was very, very strange with CM Punk just yelling. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I feel like everybody says the same thing about Roman Reigns. Like CM Punk is saying nothing different than what Kevin Owens said. And CM Punk saying nothing different than what Seth Rollins has been saying and what Cody Rhodes was saying and Sami Zayn was saying, that he was mean to his family and that he never shows up. Like, okay, like come up with something new, come up with something original. And it feels and I love CM Punk. I love CM Punk. I'm a big CM Punk fan. But it feels disingenuous coming from CM Punk, a guy who's like, oh, Roman Reigns can't show up. He can't be here. I'm here. Hey, guys, look, I'm here. I'm a fighting champion. You were gone for 10 years from the WWE. Like, shut up. Like, that's like, you were gone for 7 years from professional wrestling. And you weren't just gone, like, from WWE. You, like, alienated yourself away from wrestling. You referred to it in interviews as fake fighting. You referred to, like, you went by Phil Brooks when you were making your comic books, and you were Phil CM Punk Brooks in UFC. Like, you wanted nothing to do with pro wrestling. And now 10 years later, you're like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm a fighting champion. I'm full time. Roman Reigns isn't here. Roman Reigns. And like, you were also in AEW when Roman Reigns was at the top of the world in WWE. King of the Bloodline, and you were bashing him over in AEW, and and now you want to come over here and be like, I'm the fight. I love this, but it just feels very, very disingenuous coming from CM Punk. But I do think the Usos are going to get involved in the main event, and I'm really hoping that it ties into somehow some of these stories that they've been telling with the Usos and Roman over the last couple of months, where when Roman lost to Bronson Reed, he snapped at the Usos and said that he didn't want to see them until Christmas. Then we saw Jey Uso lose to CM Punk, and then he went into crash out mode a couple weeks later. And then they were teasing dissension between Jimmy and Jay, and we thought that one of them was going to turn and one of them was going to join the Vision, one of them was going to go heel. I feel like now maybe all of this comes to fruition. And CM Punk was trying to manipulate them, but I think maybe they cost Roman the championship at WrestleMania instead and help Punk win. That's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to do, like in an ultimate swerve. Roman loses the third year in a row, but I could also see them reuniting the bloodline and helping Roman. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with this segment for sure.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't see a path that Roman Reigns wins. I know everyone's like, "Oh, Roman's going to win." Oh, Roman. Why would Roman be the world champion right now? But why? There's just no point. There's no point for him winning. He's not going to wrestle. He's not. What are we doing here? We've passed part-time Roman. He had literally the longest reign in the history of the WWE, basically. In the modern era. Like, why get? What is he going to do? Is he going to bring butts and seats showing up?
Yes.
That's like, okay, then let's have Brock win the other one, and we'll have them both just kind of because they're big names. And I don't see it.
I just think, like, when was the last time WWE was truly, truly great? And it was when Roman Reigns was the WWE champion. So
yeah, but do you think they're gonna? You think he can? That was the bloodline, dude. That was Sami Zayn. That was Solo coming. That was,
get them all. Bring them back.
I don't see it working again. Maybe. And
AEW turned the Death Riders babyface. You can turn the Bloodline babyface.
I guess it just wouldn't work the same. But who knows? You're probably right because last you said he was going to win the Rumble, and I laughed at you. So what does that say?
Yeah.
All right. Let's end it on a high note, brother. We had the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio was hot. He was hot, bro. He was. Speaking of hot, Liv Morgan. She's still single too. She needs the DM a brother.
She's got Dom. She's not single.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, outside of the TV show, tell her to call me. But nonetheless, JD McDonough walked out Finn Balor. Finn Balor was not having it, talking shit to Dominic, brought up his dad, and basically pissed him off. So Dom gave him a little shove. Wasn't even violent. Friends fight. Little shove, a playful shove, being the kind soul he is. And what does Finn Balor do? He Pele kicks him, catching him off guard. What a disgraceful thing. JD gets in the corner, kind of calms him down. Finn's about to lay out Dom, and boom! JD McDonough with the uppercut. And my favorite part about it was watching Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get their lickings, beating the shit out of him. They lay him out, multiple frog splashes, one with a chair, and Finn Balor is now a babyface. And I am happy to say, Ryan, I know you're probably going to say differently, that the Judgment Day is continuing on. No original members anymore, just a brand new, young Judgment Day. This is how it should be. Now Finn can move on after defeating Dom at WrestleMania and moving on to being a babyface, hopefully earning titles, and the Judgment Day can be who they are. I do think I said this originally. I don't get why Penta won the IC title. Finn is chasing belts. Dom's collecting belts. This is a moment. You could have had them turn either way. Why not have Finn win the IC belt? I know it's whatever beneath it, but at least that gives him a title, boosts him up to then kind of get a heavyweight championship later on in the future. I don't get that. I feel like the match would have felt better. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but nonetheless, what do you think about everything? Let me hear it.
I can guarantee you ticket sales would go up to $300, $400 if they advertise Dom versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship on one of the nights, because people would want to see it. People want to see 100%. Finn get his revenge. People want to see Finn get gold. People want to see the Demon Finn maybe win gold for once and then beat up Dom. So I agree. He should have never lost the Intercontinental Championship. I loved what they did. This was like the highlight of the night for me.
So well done
on Monday Night Raw. It was a long time coming. I feel like they dragged it way out longer than it should have been. In this narrative that the Judgment Day turned on Finn Balor is like, we got to stop that. It's not Finn Balor turned on the Judgment Day. Finn Balor is the reason that Dominic Mysterio isn't the Intercontinental Champion. And Finn Balor is
admitted it.
Yeah. Finn Balor is the reason that, that all of the drama that happened in the Judgment Day, acting like even JD McDonough on X was like, you claimed that you were the leader when we had no leader. He brought in Roxanne Perez without asking anybody to the Judgment Day. He did all these things. Finn Balor was shady. So the Judgment Day got rid of their dead weight. And and I think it was well done. The whole segment was great. I've never seen Dom that hot in a promo. Like he came across like that's probably his best promo, and it was his most passionate promo. Because
and look at the heat he got again.
Yeah, he was unhappy that he lost that Intercontinental Championship, and I loved everything they did. I'm curious to see where this goes. Is this going to lead to JD versus Finn? Is this going to lead to Dom versus Finn? Is Finn going to start his own separate faction and we get them? Because we still got the Roxanne Perez factor. So maybe we get, I don't know, but I loved everything they did on Raw in this segment. So I'm curious to see where it goes. And I feel like this should have been talked about more than it was, because people talked about the main event and they talked about the opening segment. But this was the highlight of Raw for sure.
Oh, it wasn't even close. This was one of the best turns we've had in quite some time. No, we're definitely getting Finn beating JD McDonough on a random episode of Raw to build himself up to Dominic, where Dom will lose another WrestleMania again. We already know that. But nonetheless, it'll be fun. I don't think Finn's going to start a faction. I think he's going to move on to bigger and better things finally. I think Triple H is finally believing in him. So, yes, sir. All right. Let's get on to NXT, brother. We're going to kind of mix it, talk about both. We're not going to do anything major for Vengeance Day and the NXT episode, just kind of briefly talk about both of them. But we had one, Tony D. He finally got his comeuppance against the Dark State by beating Dion Lennox on Vengeance Day, and he came out on NXT and basically stated that he was done with that, right? I mean, all he had to do was beat one guy, and now he's moving on. He was gone forever, became a new person, is no longer Italian. Also, he could defeat Dion Lennox and move on with his life. But nonetheless, my favorite part about his promo was, one, I thought it was really good. Thought it was passionate. Number two, I thought I enjoyed that he said he wants Joe Hendry. And I don't think Joe Hendry is built for this championship. And I can see Joe Hendry losing to him at Stand and Deliver, and Tony D finally getting what he truly deserves, and that's the World Championship of NXT. But what say you? What do you think about Tony D, Vengeance Day, into the show? And thought the match was good against Dion Lennox, too. I like Dion Lennox a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think Dion Lennox showed out, and I think Tony D was incredible. Tony D came out of that match, though, like looking like a combination of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn, with his hair the way it was, his face. I was like, whoa, like it's like all three of those guys had a baby and made Tony D'Angelo. But that everything, I mean, the match was great. Dion Lennox, like we said, brought it. I loved his promo. I don't understand, like he came back because he wanted to take out Dark State, so he beats one member and now he's moving on. He's like, hey, I've done what I've had to do. They took everything from me, so I took everything from them, but he didn't take anything from them. And now he's going after Joe Hendry. But to your point, I like him going after Joe Hendry. NXT is in dire need of championship contenders. Nobody wants to see Ricky Saints again. No offense to Ricky Saints, but he's been in the title picture for 6 months now. Like, we need some fresh main eventers. And I think Tony D'Angelo, from his absence till now, is the perfect guy to take that belt off of Joe Hendry. And I can't wait to see it.
Cool. Two quick things. Ready? Before we talk about Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, we had Sol Ruca at Vengeance Day. Basically, it's going to be Sol Ruca, Zarya, and JC Jane in a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Not at Stand and Deliver, but 2 weeks from, or next week now is 2 weeks from Vengeance Day. So next Tuesday, they are wrestling in that match. And then we also got on this episode, Charlie Dempsey turning on his crew and joining a whole bunch of, what are they called? Nepo babies. And it looks like his dad is leading the group, though. Fit Finley and William Regal were there. So I just want to get your opinion on those two things quickly. I mean, what did you think about both of them? The title match not being at Stand and Deliver, what's going to happen there? And are we getting William Regal on TV every week now?
I think I'm excited for Sol Ruca getting a title match. I don't know why it's not a Stand and Deliver, but maybe that's setting up for Sol versus Zarya for the NXT.
I think that's what's going to happen, right? She's going to pin JC Jane, and then Zarya will say, "You never beat me." That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I can see that. And then I like this little faction that Charlie Dempsey going heel, leaving the no quarter catch crew, and I think David Finley, Fit Finley's other son, just joined.
He's that one, right? Yeah, well, he left, but the other Finley's in the crew, right? It's because they all have different names.
Yeah, but it's
Brian Pillman, him. Yeah, trying to remember who everybody was.
And I think that was the group that David Finley was going to be in if he went to NXT. So it's very, very strange that he shows up in AEW. So the next week NXT reveals their faction with his dad and his brother leading the group. But yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. We have enough factions right now in NXT that I'm like, is this faction going to win the NXT Championship? Are they going to take the North American title? Or are they just going to be there to compete for the Heritage Cup? Like, I don't know, but I am. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance and see where it goes.
Tony D was here for Dark State. We're here for the Heritage Cup.
We want that cup back. Yeah.
We want it all. Not even the North American title. I want the damn Heritage Cup that hasn't been on NXT in 3 years.
The Speed Championship.
Oh, dude, that's every week. It's on TV. In the main event of Vengeance Day, we had Ricky Saints lose to Joe Hendry due to Ethan Page not even pretending to try to slide it to him. I don't know what. I thought it was a blatantly obvious thing because it was so poorly done. It's like he went to him and like Saints had his like arms out and it like went under his arms. It literally was like 17 feet away from him, zoomed by him and went directly into Joe Hendry's arms, but he threw him the bell, which ended up costing Ricky Saints the match. So they had a tag team match on NXT, Page and Saints versus Hendry and Miles Bourne. And this time Ethan Page slid it to Ricky Saints perfectly, and they get the win. They're posing at the end to close out NXT, but they're posing and giving each other the shifty eye, like, do I trust you? What say you? Are we getting Page and Saints that stand and deliver? Do you like all of this? What are you feeling?
I don't dislike it, but I'm not feeling it either. Like I love both Ricky Saints and I like Ethan Page. One of them is going to have to go back to being a babyface, and that's how this is going to work. So one of them is going to turn. It should be Ethan Page. I agree. Yeah. It should be, but he's so good as a heel, and Ricky Saints is so good as a babyface, and he's not really hitting it as a heel for me right now. So, but they just turned Ricky Saints heel, so it wouldn't make sense for him to turn back to babyface. So I do think it's going to be Ethan Page, even though he's so good as a heel. So I am curious to see where they go with that. But also, like, does that mean that Ethan Page and Ricky Saints are competing for a number one contendership match against Joe Hendry? If that's the case, what does it mean for Tony D'Angelo? Is Tony D'Angelo even going to get the match at Stand and Deliver, or is he the opponent for after Stand and Deliver? I'm curious to see where they go. I'm gonna give it a couple of weeks before I make any rash decisions on whether I like it. But right now, I'm kind of meh on it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I'm the same, although Ethan Page and Ricky Saints going to be a hell of a match. So
it will be a hell of a match.
I am excited about that. And I like them. Yeah, they're two of the best right now who's left in NXT. So
just don't have Ricky Saints singing rock concerts anymore. That segment was atrocious. Yeah.
We were the only ones who thought that, right? Everybody thought that, right? Sports Illustrated thought that, right?
Yeah.
Bleacher Report thought
that. WWE thought
that.
Apparently you can't even find the video. Because they
are you serious? What were they? Did they just like? Was he like, "Hey, I got it. I'm just gonna like wing it"? And they're like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wing it." And then he just like blanked. It was bad. And Ricky Saints has had some fumbles. This man was so good on the mic. He made Adam Copeland straight stop his character and get pissed off and call him a mini whatever. He was like offended.
Called him a miniature version of The Rock. And Ricky Saints, like, he's like, is basically like, he got like offended at that too. But then he goes and does this on NXT where he's doing the Rock concert. I'm like, come on now, like, you don't want people to compare you to The Rock. Don't do stuff that's similar to what The Rock does and do it 10 times worse.
I thought he called him like a vanilla midget or something.
He called him a vanilla midget version of The Rock. Yeah,
which is like because he was so mad. He was like, and Ricky Saints even said he was like, I just decided not to say anything because I was
that
like,
set me over the edge.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to destroy this dude and I'm going to get in trouble. So he was like, I'll just stop. But nonetheless, that thing was very weird. Yeah, very weird. But NXT is still fun. I do like now, though, that I'm watching NXT and I'm like seeing all these newer people. And I'm like, wait, who's that again? Oh, wait, who's?
I'm the same way.
Oh, yeah, because they kind of just like had everyone leave. They usually don't shift that many. I mean, minus Tony D, everybody basically left. I mean, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page are still were after Tony D and them, but like they just kind of took everyone. You know what I mean? And now it's like Sol Ruka's running the show. It's kind of wild, but nonetheless. Well, there you go. That's our WWE Week in Review. And stay tuned. We ain't missing no more. We're on the road to WrestleMania, baby. So we are hitting. And you guys know you love our controversial takes, and you guys love listening to us because we don't just say what everyone else is saying. We say what we actually think, real opinions out. But let's get into our weekly segment. We need a song for the segment now because this is this is the one we do now. So this is it. But we have the least valuable and most valuable dude of the week, or LVD, MVD, where we give. It's not that we love or hate you; it's that we thought you were the worst or best booked. Ryan, I feel like this is easy. This is easier than a certain content creator when she goes to a wrestling event. This is, I'm telling you right now, LVD. Who do you got? Should be easy.
I'm gonna go with different than what I think you're gonna go with.
All right.
Because we didn't talk about SmackDown, but there was one particular thing that happened on SmackDown that had me really scratching my head, and that is my LVD is Johnny Gargano, because this man he's been pouting. He's like lying down on crates backstage, and he's been pouting because Tommaso Ciampa left, and he just can't catch a break. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like he's been depressed, and all of a sudden his wife Candice LeRae snaps him out of it. And he's like, you know what? I am Johnny freaking Wrestling. I am Johnny Gargano. I am the man. I am the greatest wrestler in the world. I'm going to go to the ring right now, and I'm going to do an open challenge, and I'm going to beat whoever it is. And so he goes to the ring, and who answers the open challenge? One Oba Femi, the ruler. And Johnny Gargano.
Who we love.
Love him. Johnny Gargano gets squashed. Like, I've never seen. Like, to me, I was like, tell me your WWE contract's coming up without telling me your WWE contract's coming up, because that was like, this is a guy that like was Johnny Wrestling. Like he came in with the expectation to be like the next big thing in WWE. He's gonna be a future world champion. He's gonna be
Shawn Michaels, baby,
former tag team champion. Yeah, everybody loved Johnny Gargano, and now he's getting squashed on SmackDown and. Less than 3 minutes. It was awful. One of the worst things I've ever seen. So Johnny Gargano is my LVD of this week.
If you were going to name the Mount Rushmore, or let's do top 5 all-time NXTers, I would say 80% of the people would have Gargano and Ciampa on that list.
Yeah.
And when they got pulled up, they were the hottest they've ever been. When they and they are Triple H guys. They came up when Triple H took over. It was like a no-brainer. I am confused on how bad they've been fumbled, like literally lost of words, because they are it. It's not like we're not pushing little guys anymore. We are. It's pretty bizarre booking. Also, I love your take on that too, because Gargano, they were also doing it like on Instagram pictures, like family pictures. Like they went to Disneyland, went to the beach, and he was posed like that. Like they were in character, like outside of the WWE and posting about it. And then they were just wiped off, all to lose the O. I wonder what he thought. They were like, hey, you're done. We're going to push on. Now you're going to have a character again. He's like, yeah, what's going to happen? So you're going to come out, challenge. Oba Femi's going to come out. And I guarantee his face is like, and you're going to get destroyed like in 17. It's going to be awesome. It's really going to get you over.
I don't think he got any offense then whatsoever. It was terrible. What are they doing?
They're going to get no offense in on Oba Femi. Are you kidding me? He's like the hottest thing right now. Oh my goodness. What a joke. But nonetheless, good pick. I'm going with Drew McIntyre. I think you knew who I was going to say. You can't be the L. You cannot be the. I don't care. You cannot be him and your title and lose it on an episode of SmackDown a few weeks before WrestleMania and not be the biggest loser of the week. Sorry. I love Drew McIntyre. Once again, it's not means we hate or love you. We're spitting how you were booked. He was booked poorly, and even worse that they followed it up tonight with having him quit and say he's sick of everybody and the way he gets treated when he just quit like 3 months ago with CM. This is just a disgrace. I'm not one to always say move and leave and this and that. I don't know when his contract is up. If anybody needs to go to AEW, it's Drew freaking McIntyre. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
So leave, Drew. Leave.
Yeah. At least AEW will appreciate you for who you are and what you do. And I hope, I don't know, maybe not. They'll probably put him.
I mean, he'll lose his opening match. He'll lose his debut. They always lose their debuts. Everyone
he'll be Hoko will recruit him to join the ops.
He'll join the ops. No, he's gonna go in the Don Callis family. What's wrong with you? That's where all the super fit bad guys go when they join.
Especially no
matter where you're from.
The Scottish and European people. Yeah.
But he's going straight to Don Callis. Yeah.
No, I love what they do. I love Drew McIntyre, but man, like he's not He's not been booked right at all. And everyone's like, oh, he's leaving to film a movie. Cody Rhodes went and filmed Street Fighter, and he was still champion. Like, don't come at me with that argument. So dumb. So dumb. Worst thing they did.
100%. All right, let's get into it. And on a positive, the MVD, this could be up in the air. Most valuable dude or dudette, or dude and dudettes. Who do you got?
I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. The man won the WWE Championship. This man, he lost the Royal Rumble, but Drew interfered. Interference was allowed. He lost at the Elimination Chamber, but Drew interfered.
Interference allowed.
Interference was allowed. Yeah, it's perfectly legal. And then Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber and becomes the number one contender, but we decided to give Cody Rhodes a title shot before we give Randy Orton his title shot, even though Cody Rhodes did nothing to deserve it. But Cody Rhodes got it on a random episode of SmackDown and became the WWE Undisputed Champion pretty easily. I mean, Jacob Fatu had a factor in it, but he didn't really do anything to, he just stood there and then I'm going to give it to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the MVD. He became the new Undisputed Champion. And now we're getting Cody versus Randy at WrestleMania. Yay.
I mean, like we said, doesn't mean we love or hate it. Just means they were the best book.
Oh,
said. I was going to go Cody Rhodes because of that logic, too. Like, that makes it even sound so much stupider, more stupid than it actually is. The fact that he lost, and then still ended up fighting a way in. What was the point to him being in that matches then?
What's the point of those matches, too?
That's what I mean, yeah. I'm going my first ever. I'm going dudes and dudettes, and I'm going with the Judgment Day, baby. This is the strongest they have looked in a long time. This was the best segment of the week in all pro wrestling, AEW and WWE. I don't know how you don't love this. Finn Balor had the same situation happen to him in NXT where he had to do this and do the Pele. It was art. It was amazing, and I love it all. And I love that it wasn't like separation that JD McDonough went with it. No, JD was the one who hit him first and turned on him and basically said, we're a family. You don't turn on your family. It doesn't matter if we grew up together. This is our family. This is on you. I loved it all. I give it to him. I love that Liv was the first to get those lickings in, and then I love seeing it. And then Raquel getting in. Where's Roxanne? Is she hurt? Is she going to come back? Yeah. But nonetheless, Judgment Day in a whole, you are my MVD. You guys made my week, so thank you.
Yeah, no, that was the best I've seen Judgment Day look in a long time, and for the I'm no more bickering for the foreseeable future, which I'm excited about. Now we can actually see the Judgment Day as a unit, as a group that's together and cohesive, without the dead weight that is Finn Balor holding them back.
Yeah.
So super pumped! Can't wait to see what they do with this stuff going forward.
I agree. All right, well there you go. That's it. Now that's the episode. Like we said, we're going to be here every week. Keep tuning in to hear our takes on the road to WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and hit those comments, man. We're getting likes, we're getting views, but interact with us. Hit us up. We're not shy. We're not going to get offended. Just don't say anything dumb or I will go at you because I'm not that dude. But nonetheless, as always, if you want to tune in and just listen to me talk, you are my_wrestling_opinion on all social media. And with me, as always, is
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all the social medias, so go follow me there. Go follow us on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. We're on Twitch at 2 Dudes_with Attitudes. We're on Instagram at 2 Dudes with Attitudes Podcast and X at 2 Dudes PC. And most importantly, we're here on YouTube where you can follow us at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. We appreciate everyone's love and support. We're at almost 1,380 subscribers. Can't do what we're doing without you guys. We appreciate every single one of you and help us keep this channel going by continuing to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then if you listen to us on Apple and Spotify, same thing. We're in the top 10% of all listened to wrestling podcasts. Help us keep climbing up the ranks to that 5%, that top 1%. And the way to do that is leave 5-star ratings and reviews. Go on there and subscribe and tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes on the internet and help us blow this thing up, baby.
Yes, sir. Well said. 2 Dudes Wolfpack. We out.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all elite, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to